So you will remember from back in the day when all those emails got outed by Julian Assange, they assigned certain code to foods. I say to foods to mean something than what was other than that food item. So, for example, pizza meant, you know what it meant. I don't need to say it. And you know the hot dogs meant, I don't need to say it, right? So that gives us a base of operation from understanding that a symbolic language exists among the Masons to catalog both their religious and their sexual preferences, paying their homage to their great God and Savior, money, Lucifer, and Aleister Crowley. So you can understand that when something weird comes across and you kind of look at it for a minute and you drink it in, and they've trained us to take in a million different things and rapid response, quick. Don't take any second to sit and think about anything. Just image, 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 right? That's how they've trained us. So when you really just take a minute to sit down and look at this image, I mean, look at this person's lips. They are just ever so slightly tight. There's no smile. She's selling you a cookbook, by the way. So her cookbook that's going to have, some litany to idea that, not litany, but some idea that this is going to be a professional thing. Jerry Seinfeld's wife, wife. She's sitting here with these pursed lips, right? This isn't Duper's Delight where they're smiling, pulling one over on you. I would say that this is Duper Delight's ugly cousin, Angry Delight, right? You look at this eye. This eye could poke your brain out. Look at that thing. Look, just ignore the food for a second. Just look at the image in there with the broccoli of this person. Do you see the daggers of hatred that this entity is shooting your way? Do you pick that up? I do. I don't think it's strange at all. In fact, if I was buying a cookbook and I wanted to put a picture on my cookbook so you bought it, I'd do what traditional advertising theory has been. And if you pay attention to commercials, when they're selling you something, what are they typically doing? They're smiling. It doesn't matter if they're buying toothpaste or deodorant or selling you car wax or whatever, they're always smiling. So don't you find it a little bit odd that this entity is peering at you with a overtly hateful gaze? When you just look at the eye, ignore the fact that she's doing the one eye symbol and that we have a coming imposter antichrist who's going to put your eye out. For those people who will be here and don't submit to him, forget that, right? Even though that's extremely occultic, high level, Masonic, Kabbalist symbols and language, she's doing that. These tight little lips, right? She just wants to take your head off, is the energy, or however you want to phrase that I'm getting out of it. She has this nasty, sticky donut over her eye that I just talked about. And you know that there has been this whole thing with voodoo donuts and the whole child abuse operation thing related to pizza and donuts. And I bet you can use your imagination or go get into my playlist where I have a very specific playlist devoted to educating people and myself on what the donut means to the Mason and how you should keep your children away from them, especially your little boy children. And we'll leave it at that. But I think you can gravitate towards what I'm trying to say without overtly saying it. So this is becoming a protected right? With the Rainbow Mafia, you don't get to tell me what's right and wrong. I'll make laws to shut you up because they can't step to your logic. Is what happens because they know that this practice is against nature, just on a no duh level. They know that it's against morality. They know that you can't uh, how do you say that word? Procreate. There's a whole list of problems with this highly dangerous activity, and we'll just leave it at that. I mean, books have been written. You're teaching my child what? This highly suggestive, hyper-sexualized message that this entity that I'm thinking Mr. E is probably right. That's a dude. Look at this nose. This is a surgically, how do you want to say this? Tendered down, pared down, sliced down. This is rhinoplasty. No human being has a nose that slopes down like that. I don't care who you are. That is a surgically created schnoz. And they like to do that. Mr. E will talk about when they make a female, they got to work on the nose because women usually, I may be an exception to this, but women usually have little noses. So she's got this object, and you've got Candace Cameron, right? The supposed Christian, Kirk Cameron's sister, and she's got a magazine, a red book, and she's looking out of a donut too. And we're just supposed to believe that this food symbology doesn't have anything to do with this already revealed map of reality that these psychopath lunatics in government in Hollywood, these Masons, these Crowley sex magic practitioners who get their worship to Satan. They just have to hurt someone. That's all. You get to make millions of dollars through Daddy Satan and Luke 4. You just gotta hurt someone. And hey, how about the one group of people on planet Earth Christ said you touch them and you're gonna wish you hadn't. You're gonna wish that you had a millstone hung around your throat, dying in the ocean, suffocating. What I'm going to do to you. Not me, but a paraphrase of what Jesus Christ said to those who would hurt and wound and cause stumbling to the children. So they have their little donuts. They love their little donuts. And so they put their stupid visual, hyper-sexual, hyper-suggestible images on, for example, this cookbook. And these people are multimillionaires. Her husband is a Jewish unbeliever that is a multimillionaire from TV shows, and I'm pretty sure he's done movies, if I'm not mistaken. I can't think of one off the top of my mind. But see, all of that exposure through the lens of Hollywood, it wasn't just to make him money, though it did. It wasn't just to entertain you, because when you come home after a hard day of work, don't you want to sit down and forget about what a jerk your boss is, or the bills you owe, or whatever. You sit down, you've been programmed to take in whatever the TV has to offer from the litany of choices. And so anyhow, she is married to this extremely wealthy, well-known, well-loved, sweet little innocent through the projection of the image that he had. It's Jerry Seinfeld. We all grew up watching Jerry Seinfeld. Come on now. He's a silly guy. A show about nothing. My husband and I still joke around about salsa. We still joke around about that, right? That's why they use them, because these are the masked entities that behind the facade are monsters. These people are monsters. They are. When she has this, whatever this entity is, has this donut over its eye, it's selling you a message, and it's not to buy her crappy cookbook, okay? I can just tell you that right now. And if you think that this is about selling a $15 cookbook or whatever, you're wrong. Okay, so can we agree that there is definitely an agenda at hand? Can we agree that these people are obviously not worshiping the God of the Bible, who set really, really, really clear boundaries on all of these topics? Can we agree, please? Please? Can we just agree that when the Bible says that Lucifer is real, that he messed with Jesus, that Jesus overcame him through the power of the Most High because he's God, but also he followed the Bible? Can we agree that Satan gives the kingdoms of the world? No. Not to you. Sorry. Can we just agree that Satan offers power, money, wealth, fame, prestige, networking opportunities, etc., to people if they will but bow down and worship him. And Jesus said no, but there are weak and pathetic people who are horrible individuals who are being used as little puppets to draw your mind into mental constructs of religious-based ideologies through heavy mass marketing of professional PR campaigns that come from the greatest minds of the manipulators who literally wrote the book on propaganda. We've done videos talking about Edward Bernays. We have done all kinds of information looking at how all you have to do. I love history. It depends on what kind of history and blah, 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 blah. But I love history. And all you have to do is go study what despots and dictators and really evil demon-possessed people have done and what worked, and then repeat it. Right? This is not hard where we are in time and space. The things have already been done. Now the professionals that have the video cameras, the airtime, the multi-million dollars worth of advertising revenue, the opportunity to seed ideas and religious constructs, sexual identity changes, perversion of certain lifestyles, and a rebellion to that man. Some of the Jews in unbelief refer to Jesus as, quote, that man. Oh, they hate him. There are certain threads that tie together when one considers all these things. Why do you think they have you on a constant, I can't say 24/7, although maybe some people, you got to sleep sometime though, right? They have you on a constant distraction cycle to come home and turn on your demon TV box or your device so that they can feed you propaganda. Edward Bernays taught them how to sell ideas to people, and just one sliver of that was to sell a product to you by selling an idea to you, by giving you an identity. Do you think mayhaps that as they push this agenda for the Rainbow Mafia, and specifically now, so they've gotten that, right? They've gotten the gay marriage thing. That's done. Now they're moving on to bigger dogs, and they want the transsexual thing. They want that accepted, normal, and by God, we're going to beat you to death, is their theology and practice, if you don't agree with us. Everybody's got to agree with us. We got to get in the schools. All your kids have to agree with us, right? That's not going to be enough. That's not where it's going to stop. Now they want your children. Like, seriously, they want your children. Figure it out. So that's the new dog, right? That's the new fight. So they have these TED Talks where these sweet little innocent wafy models go, I like, this is them speaking now, not me. I like children, and it's how I was made, and it's just another flavor of sexual appeal. You like chocolate, and she likes vanilla, and you like rainbow sherbet. Well, I like banana nutty bread ice cream. So it's all the same. It's all in the same level, and we're all allowed to like what we like. So let's force this into your mind and use pictures through professional Are you hearing me? Through professional PR campaigns to push this agenda so we get our way and we get rid of that man and his people and break their bonds and burst their bands, exactly like Jesus told you in Psalm 2. Now, let's go to the more obvious. When have you ever in your life hugged a broccoli shaft to your face? Can you think of a time when you were like, hey, let's take family photos or let's do a selfie, and I don't know, let's hug me some broccoli shaft to my face while I give you this creepy. I'm not gonna hug broccoli. He's not gonna hug broccoli. That's what my husband just said. This is an overtly obvious Masonic screw with your head, reprogram you, reprogram your children. We're going to do what we want. We just don't have the guts to tell you what we're doing, but we'll do it with visual imagery to play mind games with you. So if that's the donut and you figured out what that donut stands for, and they want your kids, these little psychopaths with their weird little rituals that Crowley taught them, and now that new woman, Abramovich, she's like a female Crowley. She's like 70 and doesn't look a day over 40 because she's ingested so much essence of children, and we'll leave it at that. What do you think they're saying with the broccoli? And look, I mean, come on. Do the distance of the hole to the shaft. Come on. These people think you're stupid. I don't. I think you're smart.